coming at you live on Twitch, the YouTube, and the Facebook. I got to address this comment. Guys, we are live, and I got to tell you, Bodley, whatever your name is, I think Ben and Stevie, we're at the point where we need to stop thinking and saying nothing will happen to Vince. Bodley, I think we are past that, bro, because when you're talking about one allegation, it's his word versus her word. We're talking about 4 allegations now, which Ben and Stevie will probably be 7 allegations, which probably will be 10 allegations. I think we're past the nothing will happen events. Stevie, I just watched the documentary I told you guys on PBS on Weinstein. Bro, if something happened to Weinstein, trust me, Ben, I think something can happen to a wrestling promoter.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. They want to take them all down. So, I think you're right in the chat there. I mean, R. Kelly got off scot-free.
Right.
And Ghislaine Maxwell was found innocent, and as well as Kevin Spacey. I'm sure none of these people have anything to do, with anything suspect whatsoever, and just enjoy paying people off for sex. They don't have any abstract behaviors.
Stevie, I mean, Stevie, can we sit here and say we're surprised? We were here 2 weeks ago, and we exactly laid this out. And here's another thing: the crack wrestling media again. Ben and Stevie, would you believe I was actually doing a live show this morning, and a listener, russosbrand.com, chimed in with this news. As soon as I wrapped up my show, Ben and Stevie, I went online, and sure enough, the Wall Street Journal had reported it about 21 minutes ago. Bro, not one word from the wrestling media. They were more concerned with what show is Liv Morgan going to land on. Is she going to land on SmackDown or Raw? This story is out there, bro, for 20 minutes from the Wall Street Journal, Stevie. I could not find it on one. What are these wrestling journalists doing? I don't understand, Stevie.
Well, I mean,
bro, a viewer smartened me up, and these guys didn't have the news yet.
In their defense, SmackDown and Rampage are tonight, so we need to, get those things covered. But I think Sean Ross Sapp has covered it. At least tried to contact WWE. We want to be fair if somebody's going to do it, but that tells a different story. That's much like what's going on with Vince and NDAs. Why, just like mainstream media in general, why does mainstream media stay silent for 2 years about the Epstein stuff on ABC? Why are they staying silent still with the or actually said, yeah, the laptop was real. So what? And now you can talk about it. It's 2 years too late, but you can talk about it now. Wrestling media is sort of at least kind of mirroring mainstream media right now. Who's working with WWE and getting a check every week, just like some of them are getting a check every week from AEW? It's very interesting questions.
Yeah, I'm not going to put any of those dirt sheet writers over, because if they do want to be like, we knew about this and we said it, well, then you're mea culpa too, because you act like you're some top level journalist, but you have to wait for the Wall Street Journal story to drop. And then, we're covering it now too. Like, but I knew about it 3 months ago. Then why didn't you drop the news?
Yeah.
Why do they all have no credibility with me whatsoever, bro.
Let me ask you this, Vince and Ben, real quick. Yeah, see, real quick. Cheer bits every time I say, or drink every time I say real quick.
Yeah, wait, hold on real quick, though. Hold on, Stevie. Stevie just said, guys, listen, bro, this is what we all do for a living. This is how we make a living, guys. So we are working right now. The three of us, bro, really appreciate if you're on a Twitch with cheers, bits, subs, resubs, especially here on YouTube, guys, with super stickers and donations. guys, we're working, man, and we represent the freedom of speech. Bro, nobody's paying us off. Nobody's giving us hush money. We're here to tell you the truth. So, again, guys, you want to donate, you want to send super stickers. It's greatly appreciated by all of us. Go ahead, Stevie, real quick.
I'm very curious because when somebody in the media or any type of media, and now we're talking about mainstream media, Wall Street Journal, other publications, they dropped a story about Vince with the paralegal for the $3 million NDA. I'm really curious, what's the interval that we're looking at? Because now we're 2 to 3 weeks removed from the first story. Now we have this. What's the plan? There's always some agenda. So what's the agenda for the media with Vince, where they're releasing this in drips instead of just hitting them with everything all at once?
What do you think about that, Ben?
I'll give you a goddamn super sticker, pal. Get over here and pull those pants down. Yeah, man. I think Stevie's dead on with the reporting and with the dripping out of the news, and the fact that he's on Raw and comes out for no reason whatsoever, that he goes to UFC right after. They know these stories are going to drop.
Yeah.
They know they're going to drop, and they think that this is the optics. And inside of that story, the night he came back on SmackDown, when he should have stayed small, shut the fuck up, lay out, he comes back through Gorilla, and report is that he gives him a fuck him. Yeah, got him, bro. Like, so that's what's going on right now. So Master Shoot Theater is absolute real life. Like what they put out in there for the TMZ marks and all that they were at UFC.
Well, not only that, Ben, what is so funny, this really, I cackled this morning when I heard this, you know, prior to Money in the Bank on Sunday, Stephanie and Hunter gathered the troops, and bro, they're giving them Stevie. They're giving them, the we are family, the sister sledge speech. Get the F out of here, bro. Like literally, bro. If there is any truth, and now there are 4 stories, if there's any truth to this, Stevie, I think I want out of your family. I really honestly think I don't want to have anything to do with your family, Stevie.
Yeah, I've been in many of those talent relation meetings where, hey guys, we're all just family here. Just if you have any problems, come up to us, and then we'll fuck you over. Oh, that's the quiet part out loud. Sorry about that. Yeah, this family like stuff, and obviously they just don't run it like a business. I think when I was in wrestling school, somebody had said, and this is 31 years ago, if the wrestling business were run like a business, then most of the people wouldn't be in the business, because it's not about making money.
Ben, would you like to address Pantelli Drakatos? All 3 of you would go to the WWE if offered in 5 minutes. Would you care to address that? Stevie, would you want to address that?
Real quick. We already reached out to him, and we thought very highly of ourselves, so we went to the network instead.
Exactly.
I think the first 10-year run was enough for me. I don't think I want.
I think my 5 years too. Literally took 15 off my life. I think
I would go right now, because Sun Tzu Art of War, when your enemy is losing ground, that's when you capitalize, and they've never been weaker and shown their underbelly more. So in a hostile takeover of creative, I definitely would be at the top of a short list, along with these 2 of names, to actually get the product back on track, have some integrity, because none of us pay for pussy or have to cheat on our wives in order to do it while we have a sham marriage. So you can keep licking that WWE ass all you want, thinking like they're the greatest of all time, and put them on a moral pedestal and do this when they come out. Meanwhile, the guy is sending dick pics to his workers, doing quid pro quo with the legal department, and then passing it on to his buddy and ratting him out in 2020. And these are 70-year-old men who look like they've been dead for 5 years.
And let me tell something to you, you imbecile Pantilli Drakatos. Let me explain something to you, Patilla Drakados. Okay, thinking that we would jump at the opportunity to work for this pervert. Let me explain something to you, bro. I just had my 2nd grandchild. my second grandchild. Bro, do you know how important it is for me to how I am looked at as a father and how I am looked at as a husband, how I am looked at as a son, how I am looked at as a grandfather? And that's the first thing I thought of, bro. This pervert. Okay, now his grandchildren have to deal with this, bro. Now his grandchildren have to go to school and have to address the issue with their fans, with their friends, and keep their heads hung low because Vince McMahon thinks he can pay anybody off to do whatever he wants. And you literally think I want to work for a man like this? You're a jackass, bro. You understand? Jackass. To think that the three of us would want to stoop to such a level to literally work for a 76-year-old degenerate. Like, seriously.
But here's the move. When this company goes down in flames, these three men right here will be there for whoever the buyer is, to Disney, whoever it is, to say, here's what you're really getting, not the false bill of goods that Nick Khan is trying to sell you. And while Vince, for the first time, is down on his knees, it will be us that come up and go and end it all, bro, because that's the integrity, and time after time vilifies us, bro, and vindicates us of what we say 3 years down the road. But people like you who will never be in the mafia of what we do can never truly understand that. So that's the business moves we make, and we let them hang themselves, cut their own throats, and get right to the edge of the cliff, and then it just takes a little dink, and off they go, bro. And the power structure changes just like
you just, somebody just brought up here, but Stevie, Shane's kid Declan, he's going to IU to play football now. He's starting a collegiate career. That kid's got to go now into this environment and have to deal with what his grandfather said, and what his grandfather did, and this is the tip of the iceberg. And you people actually believe that we want to be associated with this guy for what? For money? Stevie, seriously, Stevie, you going to cash in the beach to go work for a 76-year-old perp?
I think the more important question here that's pressing everyone is Will going to get a nanny for the kids?
Yeah, I think that's
okay. Let's read the story.
Or 20 is it?
I want to say
Johnson is busted for hazing and whatever else in India because he thinks he's untouchable too.
Right, of course.
Who's that?
Go ahead, Steve.
Who was that, Ben?
Declan in 2025. Is that going to be the story? Like a kid raised untouchable in the shadow of Vince McMahon, then thinks he can do whatever he wants as well. I see that being a more probable happening than like, oh, poor billionaire grandchildren that have to go on a full ride to a university to play football and have a career all laid out for them with a trust fund. Woe is me for them.
Stevie, what were you going to say? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I think there's a bigger issue with this, and this is more of just the way society works. And this is probably why we're in a lot of trouble just as a nation, as a world, as a society. We really put our faith and offload our ethics and morals on people just because they're on a 55-inch TV screen or 65 or whatever. When we see them up there, we automatically think if they're in TV and movies, their value as a human being is a lot higher than ours. So when they do something or say something, they're the authority on this, because deep down, people, I mean, it's not so much Vince, but when they look at Vince and they're going like this, it's like, we're going to show him respect just because he's a TV star and he does all this and that. They don't objectively and critically, more importantly, look at the man for what he's done in the whole overall arching thing. Dude, there was people cheering and doing the thing like this next to their wives and daughters. And it's like, that's about as tone deaf as you get. But we have this strange, what's the word you use, Ben? You have this strange like obsession and fascination with these stars, thinking we'll take Vince McMahon down, but then we'll be part of what builds him back up again. And then we'll be just as important as him because we got him there. And you just got to look within yourself and the small circle of people you can actually trust, love, and grow with. Everybody else just has an agenda with that shit.
Yeah.
Enough to address and troll marks. There's some big things we got to cover here.
Let me read the story, Ben. Let me read the story, and then we can talk about it. Let me read the story. I'm reading this off of
before you go through the whole thing, and I just want to put this caveat in there. How about 2 days ago? This before, because I'll forget it. Do you want to talk about the insider trading and where they'll get them on the money? Kevin Dunn and another CEO, cash or CFO, whatever, cash in $1 million 2 days before this story goes out. That's the definition of insider trading, having forehand knowledge before a bad PR scandal to cash in. Now,
and he still won't get his teeth fixed. He still won't get his teeth fixed.
Oh, those chips are delicious.
Okay, let's let me read the story. This is from Wrestling Inc. because I do like Raj. Raj lives in Colorado here with me. I've even had dinner with Raj, so I like Raj Gary. Here's a story. Vince McMahon reportedly paid 4 women millions in hush money. Vince McMahon might not be in a jovial mood at WWE SmackDown tonight, even though he'll probably be on it. I'm telling you guys, he's going to be on the show tonight, as more allegations regarding his supposed sexual indiscretions and the money he paid to cover them up have been published by the Wall Street Journal. After releasing a report on June 15th claiming that McMahon paid $3 million in hush money to a former paralegal with whom he and John Laurinaitis allegedly had sexual relations, the Journal followed up with a new expose today that raises the number of women involved to 4, at least one of whom was a wrestler, and the amount of money paid out to more than $12 million. The wrestler alleges that McMahon coerced her into giving him oral sex and that she was demoted and released from the company in 2005 after refusing further sexual encounters. McMahon brought her silence on the matter in 2018 for a payout of $7.5 million. Meanwhile, in 2008, a former WWE contractor allegedly signed a non-disclosure agreement and was paid approximately $1 million after she presented the company with unsolicited nude photos of Mr. McMahon she reported receiving from him, and allegedly that he had sexually harassed her on the job. And according to the Journal's sources, another $1 million settlement in 2006 went to a former manager who had worked 10 years for Mr. McMahon before he allegedly initiated a sexual relationship with her. McMahon has been under a harsh spotlight since the initial allegations were reported. The WWE Board of Directors have reportedly launched an investigation into McMahon, who announced he was stepping back, yada, 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 yada. Okay, so those are the new allegations now, which now include one of the workers. And bro, you got to also understand, Stevie and Ben, we also have the story of she presented the company with unsolicited new. How do you get out of that, bro? Like, if this woman is showing the board nude photos of Vince McMahon on her phone, and that is attached to a payoff, how are we going to get out of that one, Ben?
Let's really paint the picture. What makes it even funnier to me is I looked at the timeline. We're talking 2005, 2006. Hot phone of the year, the Motorola Razr. Yeah, let me get this goddamn thing. You know, flip phones.
Wasn't that the same year as the Zanzibar incident? With the same exact thing when him showing the pictures on the Razr? Remember that?
Near it. I mean, dude, just straight megalomania. You don't get out of it, and he will get his for this. And this strange sexual behavior of passing.
Hold on, before you go on, Ben, hold on, because somebody just had a little note here. Young Ryder, is Young Ryder in the room?
He is always in the room.
Can you just please jot down Young Ryder needs to address Vince of taking nude photos of himself on
And
the
also,
next dance.
they're trying to stop his UFC career from taking off.
Yeah, can you please just make a note of that? Go ahead, Ben. Continue your thought.
Sorry, your original question, because I don't want to go off topic.
How are you going to get out of it, bro? If this woman has shown photos and has proof, and then there is a payoff attached with that, how are you going to get out of that?
You're not. And the fact that you did it for NDA and now it's all out here, and then all you need to do is bring up WWE talent fired from 2005 released, and then you can look at 2005, 2006, and then I don't know if you know all the women personally that are on that list. There's about 8 or 9 of them, but you can see, okay, she's a nurse, so I doubt she's sitting on 7.5. She's got her own podcast with some other goof, so I doubt she's sitting on 7.5. And you can just process of elimination. Like I said, I'm not like last time, we weren't here to out whoever it was, but this makes it very easy to process of eliminate who might be the ones that got paid out here. And now all of that was for what? Instead of doing it. I also see in the chat room, I feel sorry for Linda. How many NDAs does Linda have? Let's ask that question. When does that come out? Like Linda just sat there as an abused wife for 16 years. No, she knew it was all going on. He'd been caught multiple times. She probably did give him the boot, but doesn't want to give up the power when, oh, the poor women, she stayed in the cut for that. She's just as ruthless with all that as well. And I'd like to see, like when they open this Pandora's box, nobody's coming out of this clean as like, they just abused me. And even these girls who have been in this business or recruited for this business know how carny it is. They cashed in, and my hat's off to them, because if they got to get their money that way, then so be it. But now because of investigative journalism, they're all going to be back in the spotlight, which means book deals for them are going on Fox for a $50,000 payday along those lines for an interview. But there is no way out of this, bro. And that in that article you read, the whatever spotlight, the dark spotlight, the only person putting spotlight on Vince McMahon is Vince McMahon walking out on his goddamn show. Or showing at UFC. So, and then the Stooge report of him coming back through Gorilla after the SmackDown, got him, fuck him. And like, that's the attitude. We rib like this in Master Shoot Theater because truth and comedy. And then when that Stooge report gets out from Gorilla Position, you see the true man who has no remorse, who is pulling the wool over everyone's eyes and thinks they can get away with it because of how big his bank account is. Well, they're going to take all that and more. And there's more to be followed up on. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You came for the tip, but you stayed for the shaft, because you're going to see Cosby numbers by the end of this, bro. And not just him, other people that they brought back to have on Raw. I couldn't believe they would have some of these guys that are legends on Raw who've got body counts and all that. You could call them serial sex offenders, and they're still putting the mic in their hand.
Well, Stevie, somebody's bringing up here, and we have not even hit upon this. And you guys, thank you so much. There's over 300 people in here. We really appreciate you, but we haven't even touched upon this, Stevie. Emmett83. Hey guys, I'm curious to know your thoughts about advertisers leaving their shows now. Well, Stevie, that's going to happen now. You know, maybe it didn't happen with the one because it's my word against yours. He said, she said. Stevie, I would have to believe, alleged or not, with 4 counts now, I got to believe that advertisers are going to be running for the hills.
Well, I said in the last live stream and on the Raw SmackDown reviews that we do, that the wrestling, especially with Vince, seems to fall into some kind of gray area where people don't take it really that seriously, for good or bad. You know, advertisers wouldn't pay a premium back in the day when it was really hot. And now, I don't know. I mean, someone brought up something even more interesting to me is Linda the Ghislaine Maxwell is she pimping? It's crazy. How deep does the rabbit hole really go? I mean, I don't like to think that, but man, somebody's got to be facilitating this, and Vince is a billionaire. He's not going out there trying to do it himself. Maybe Johnny Ace is the guy. Maybe, man, it'd be crazy if it was Linda. But I have another question too about, you know, this is where, like we talked about before, is it going to be males as well as females? Let's look at the track record of Vince and some of the weird things that he would do. I was part of something for whatever reason. He wanted to see me in a dress and a wig for 6 months. And then he legitimately was talking it up, how I'm going to be a proud gay American, had granny panties in his fucking suit jacket pocket, white gray, like crazy shit like that, making people kiss his ass on TV, doing like the Trish Stratus and Sable stuff on TV. These weird things that
what
he
kind
has
of behavior what kind of behaviors would you call that Stevie just described there?
What would I call them?
I would call them perverted behaviors.
Okay.
I mean,
I had another word.
Can you address this? This is what I got a problem with, guys. Guys, as a man that's going on 39 years of marriage and has been faithful for his wife for 39 years, this is what I'm having a problem with. Williams Wrestling says, why should Vince have remorse? These girls fooled around with him willingly, two consensual adults. Okay, bro, then why is there hush money? What's the hush money about, William? If these were consensual relationships with adults, why is there shut up money, Ben?
Well, I kind of got to side with William a little bit. I don't want to be like that the girls weren't abused or whatever, but they put themselves in that to be used in that capacity, but they also, as carny workers who got to WWE, knew that this was their chance for a payoff, and they took it because we're all in this mafia together. No, there are no lambs over here who are, oh, really? You sexually abuse me? No. If I do this, then I got him over the barrel because he's a sex addict and I can fucking pick those pockets and be set for the rest of my life. Somebody only took $1 million, somebody else, and for just receiving dick pics, and the other person took 7.5 to stay quiet, but they got paid off and you haven't heard shit until now. So they're still on that side of the mafia. I saw the vets in the chat room, Stevie. He wanted to hear from you being there at that time. Were there rumors that 2005, 2006 of that infidelity in the locker room? Because I saw in follow-up stories, he would supposedly come into these creative meetings. I don't know if this was the paralegal time or not, more recent, where he'd be late and be like, they'd make a joke like, oh, he's with his girlfriend, putting her over in the office, which is probably true, and didn't give a shit while the creatives sit there for 2 hours while this guy gets his Viagra on or whatever. But what was there anything rumor wise aside from what he tried to do to you in 2005?
No, well, that sounds real. To clip that right there. No, during those times he was, I think that's more of why we were seeing the scripts ripped up at 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now it's all starting to make sense. When I was there, I literally, and Vince can tell you, Ben, and you knowing me, I stayed the hell away from everybody as long as I could. I hid up in the concourse and played video games. I did not want to have anything to do with management or this company. I limited my interactions with them because most of them were all just evil jerk-offs anyway. I was just looking to get the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
Well, Stevie, I don't know if you should be throwing stones because Eric Muniz says Stevie Richards is a vampire. He don't get old, and he has no mirror in there, no mirror reflection.
What's your address? You must be eliminated in silence.
Then explain this to me. Listen,
I'll see you when the sun goes down.
Explain this to me because this is where a lot of things seem to stem from, and this is what a lot of people, as I'm reading these comments, they're using this as a defense. Ben, here's what I don't understand. And this is why I don't lie. I don't put myself out here and freaking lie because it turns into being lie on top of lie on top of lie on top of lie until it gets caught up with you. A lot of people are saying on here, well, Vince, the hush money comes from, Linda and Vince wanted to be perceived as, being married and having a happy marriage. And that's where the hush money comes from. Here's what I don't understand, guys, and maybe I'm being naive. This is 2022. Okay. Say Vince and Linda haven't been together for 10 years because Bruce Pritchard literally told me in 2011. So we know they haven't been together for 10 years at least. And obviously, and I remember Bruce telling me Vince and Linda haven't lived together for years in 2011. So
and you think she's just been rocking the magic wand since then? No, there's going to be more stuff.
Yeah. So, Ben, we could be going back 15 years. Stevie, here's what I don't understand. Why the secret? Like, if Vince and Linda McMahon get separated and are living in separate places, I don't understand. In 2010, that's going to have an effect on their business. Bro, everybody gets divorced. Everybody gets separated. I don't understand if it was known to the public that they had not been living together for 10, 15 years, why does that affect them if that comes out?
Well, because there's a strange, and Ben can speak on the marketing of this, politicians, CEOs, people that own companies, people in the public eye, tons of sham marriages in Hollywood for different reasons. There's this strange, I guess we're still stuck in the 1950s nuclear family model that's the only one that shows strength, unity. And if you have those, then you can be a great leader, which is not true, really, if you think about it. Ben?
Yeah, this is straight up the Hillary Clinton playbook. The stand by your man who everybody knows is a POS, who's hanging out at Epstein Island and getting massages from underage girls. Vince doing the same thing at Tanzabar. And instead of Linda, being the empowered woman, taking half and having the WWE universe hate her, she's going to say, okay, you got that. Now I got you in the bank account. I'm going to Washington. I'm going to start this super PAC. I'm going to get my power on that way. And they're all in on it, man. There's nobody here who's a babe in the woods. So that is the same as Hillary staying in the cut after, what's her name? Monica Lewinsky, and then going to Westchester, New York to soak all the billionaires there that put her right into the Senate, where she thought she was going to ride that to the White House. What happened there? Same thing, not just the Trump and stuff I'm trying to get to. You want to rise all the way up? We want to tear you down and pin your shoulders to the mat 1, 2, 3, so we can stand above you and go, you ain't nothing. That's exactly when. How did Clintons come to power? They're cocaine hustlers and carnies, backwoods hillbillies to get to that point. McMahon right out of the trailer park trying to pretend that he's some Connecticut blue blood old money that came over at the 1700s, man. It ain't like that. They expose themselves constantly, but they want this, like Stevie said, they're on the TV. We have to hold them up on high. Now you're seeing the real people, bro.
See, this is where, like, guys, with all due respect, there's a lot of you guys that are...
Chat real quick. I just saw it. Bobo. Vince has been hiding all his perverse indiscretions in plain sight with the bits he does on TV. I just think that's an excellent point.
You guys are really in denial. Listen, Tommy Gunn, Vince McMahon could have paid these women money, as he didn't want anyone to find out that he was messing with women in the workplace. Bro, the woman has dick pics. She's got dick pics, bro.
Unsolicited.
Come on, man. Like, Tommy, come on, bro. She can't. Oh yeah, no. I had dick pics of Vince, but I deleted them. No, she has shown these as evidence. So the fact that bro, he gave him money because he wanted discretion. Vince, that's being discreet.
I mean, they weren't high definition. So.
Guys, come on! Like, a spade is a spade. We've got to be honest, man. It is what it is, Stevie.
Do you think if he comes out on the show tonight that he'll have like the holograms will be Motorola razors with dick pics on them, with him holding his stuff as he walks out underneath them? I think that'd be great.
Do you think that, like, when it came up with Austin Theory's gimmick, he was like, "Wait a minute, I got an idea." I remember what I did. It's there's people that are going to feel a certain way about it, and there might be a lot of people out there that don't care. Declan might not have any issues. They might, the morals and the ethics of people individually and in families has been to where, I said before, celebrities are their god, are also, we're picking all these different things to worship, like government, Vince McMahon and these other people, so we don't have to feel so bad. I mean, I don't know. I still have this sneaking suspicion that nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Sure, he's going to keep paying out money and they're going to keep finding stuff. But if they're not getting rid of him now completely after, 3 more women, total of $12 million. Talent. So being the head of creative right now, right, Ben? He's not in the office, but he's still running creative. You literally now are basically admitting with the NDA and the payoff that you have sexually assaulted talent or sexually harassed talent. If he keeps going to TV, that means the board has no plans to get this maniac away from the product.
Okay, maybe the board doesn't, but maybe the legal system does, because Stevie, I'm.
Well, they can't make him quit his job. They can't make him. They can put him in jail, but they can't make him give up the book.
Or the board can get rid of them based upon that. There are.
What I'm saying is, at this point, why are they not getting rid of him? Now you're talking about it's not just an isolated case, and it's not just people within Titan Tower, which he's been removed from.
With new character, young board member. Can we have young board member on?
Yes, young board member.
Stevie, let me ask you a question, because there's something in this now. This is damaging, and again, this is all alleged, but it says, according to the journal sources, another $1 million settlement in 2006 went to a former manager who had worked 10 years for Mr. McMahon before he allegedly initiated a sexual relationship. That's not the one. This was the one. He paid the $1 million after she presented the company with unsolicited photos of McMahon. She reported receiving from him and alleged that he had sexually harassed her on the job. Bro, that's Weinstein. Like Stevie, that is not a you can get away with that offense. Sexual harassment, bro. You're talking Weinstein. You're talking Cosby. Now you're going that road. So now there is a alleged sexual harassment. What is it, Stevie, that makes you believe he's just going to skate?
Because it hasn't happened yet. What are you waiting to drop now that 3 more have came out, total of 4, 12 million. And more importantly, like I said, the board has him removed as CEO. So technically he's not a Titan Tower. So he's away from any kind of HR nightmare in the building. But he said he's keeping himself as creative. With the news of former contractors and a confirmed talent that we have so far, why are you letting him interact with the female talent if one happened, but the other's not happening? By the way, he just sent me this because I sent him this earlier.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Ben, I would have to think now with this story, bro, his role, Ben, is going to have to change a little bit. I mean, are they going to continue?
Somebody else has just filed against him right now. It's
oh my gosh, Ben, listen to me.
Yep,
it's got to change now. I mean, him still being backstage, him still be creative. Like I said, bro, when it's one person, it's he said, she said. It's 4 people now, bro. I believe things are going to have to change a little bit.
All it takes is one diva to go, I don't feel comfortable back here with him after knowing the fact that he's done this to other women and now he has a power play over me at my job, bro. Every diva on that roster right now should lawyer up just to do the hearsay, and they could get paid more off of that just to have him in the back pocket, because you're telling me he's got this level of behavior that that is now cataloged, that he's not still pulling that stuff. He just turned the switch off after getting away with it for 15 years. No, absolutely not. Like I said, this is the tip of the iceberg, bro. Like this is what these Wall Street Journal guys found. And this is how it worked with Cosby too. There's 7, there's 9, there's 14. There could be as many as 52. There is 52. Oh, okay. All right.
I go back to this because I think we're losing sight of it. I just want to remind everybody. Is this corporate espionage? Is whoever was planning to buy WWE now going to get it for a fire sale price? By the way, once again, here's a question. Nick Khan has not said one word or represented the company in any way. And that guy was, every week there was a Nick Khan story up until this. I think that timing is very interesting.
You know, Stevie, I kind of believe, like, I really kind of believe, bro, that where it so innocently started, it was a friend of the paralegal. And now this, you know, according to the friend, the paralegal, her life is a mess now. She is a mess now, you know, signing the NDA, going through this situation for Vince. Well, hold on for a second, Ben. Hold on. Think about this. Think about, bro, if somebody's your best friend and they are absolutely falling apart for making the wrong decision that they can't make back. Maybe they're getting threatened, bro. If you ever, who knows what this person could going through. Would a friend pick up the phone and say, screw this? I think that's absolutely 100% believable, Ben. You don't buy that for a second?
No. When
Tell
you
me
have,
why. Go ahead, Ben.
Who's the friend? Anonymous, an anonymous friend, So right there, the anonymous person is the NDA. The friend is the one to put it out there. So if we can say my anonymous friend told me and a little bird, that could be anybody from Triple H to Nick Khan to anybody to set that ball rolling in motion for espionage. The other part of that is I don't weep a tear for this girl who got $3 million to suck old adrenochrome dick, bro. Like the fact that if she had fallen for his charms and his power, and that's fine, then what happened? Passed her over to Ace. She gets a promotion and she's banging Ace. What young, hot 20, 30 something wants to go have sex with Johnny Ace and Vince McMahon? Let me ask you that question.
Johnny Ace, do you take exception to that?
How dare you? I have a great part.
Yeah, little to none. This girl knows that what she was doing to cash in. She knew she could be a controversial. Dude, every other city we go, I see the same hoe. And that's exactly what I put this on right there. So I don't weep any tears for these people who are dealing with the highest level mafia bosses and know what they're doing, and then get paid off. And then they're like, oh, woe is me.
But hold on, Ben, there's the flip side of that. Let me tell you what the flip side of that is. The flip side is this. What happens to me, what happens to my career, what happens to my credibility if I don't go along with this, bro? When you watch the Weinstein, bro, listen, Weinstein was disgusting. He was a sloth. He was Jabba the Hutt. He was disgusting. When you go back and interview these women and you ask the question why, it was fear. It was fear, bro, of what the power he had to destroy their lives. Why are you so certain, Ben, that didn't play into this? He's a powerful dude, bro.
Because these girls want that fame addiction in Hollywood at any cost, and they know what they're going. They're not like walking down the trail to grandma's house and somebody grabs them and does that. Like, they know the whole step of the way. I came up with all carny actresses. They're just as conniving. And if you've ever dealt or dated an actress, bro, every one of them is bipolar and does these dangerous things because they think they're living their own little movie life. But when it's time to be the victim, boy, they can turn that little game on too. Amber Heard 101, bro. And she got exposed. So I don't sweat these girls that they're like being completely taken advantage of, especially when they're being passed around by upper brass. Because if this girl did fall for Vince McMahon and he paid her off $3 million and that was the story of her life, and then she left, she hopped right on to the next dude and got passed around, while Ace is married to the Bella twins mother and she's got brain cancer. These are all completely moral deficient people, bro. And I'm not gonna like, well, they just got taken advantage of, so my heart goes out to them. And with Linda the same way, because she's in on it all. They're all in on it together to try and keep this kayfabe, but it finally all broke loose, man.
There's a lot of different things to think about at this point, because now that it was one, now it's four that are paid off. Now, like you said, who's going to come out of the woodwork? Because now the burden of proof is on Vince. It's guilty until proven innocent, and you're still going to be guilty in the court of public opinion. Here's an interesting thing someone brought up in the chat. Is anyone who's male going to speak out is it going to get even weirder than it is now? And the only thing, just my last thought on this, the only thing on either side, male or female talent, that will have gravity is if it's a current roster member. There's always this thing after the fact, after the release, years and years later, if somebody like a Nia Jax, when she was there, or if somebody that's there right now says, hey, this is going on, because now's the time. Now you're about as safe as, because then if they fire you, wrongful termination, go to this part, you actually have more power to speak the truth now than ever before. Do you agree with that, Ben?
100%. And he's a complete liability if he's backstage tonight at SmackDown after this, bro. He should be persona non grata around the rest of his roster and all that stuff, as hands off as possible, because anything can be misinterpreted at this point. And visually, him being in that spotlight again, can he step back, or will he come out tonight to once again do something completely tone deaf?
I want to bring up one last point too, because you're talking about him not being there and people were saying, well, he'll be gone or do whatever. And then someone brought up the Pat Patterson thing. Pat had officially resigned, but was still in some way, form, or fashion, from my understanding, with the company. And Vince is sort of, even if this gets where he's off TV, he will still have his hand somehow on a back door in the WWE. They got to get rid of him completely. But
yeah, dude, it'll definitely be the Emperor from way off giving orders. But
you know, bro, I got to ask a question now, because now that you bring Ben, listen, I know you listen. I am a moral man. I've been happily married for many, many, many years. I take that very, very seriously. Ben, I got to tell you the impression I got from the multiple women that were interviewed on this documentary. I'm going to tell you the impression I got. Okay. Harvey Weinstein wanted to meet with them. He usually came through a third party. Okay. He wanted to meet with them in the hotel room. Bro, I swear to God, the impression I got with every single one of these girls were, in the back of their mind, they knew what this could be. Okay. They knew what it could be, but they really had the hope that it wouldn't be. In other words, bro, okay, he wants us to go up into the hotel room. This could be bad, but if he's sincere, having a meeting with him could get me a movie role and this and that. So I honestly believe, and you could put Vince McMahon in that role. If Vince McMahon calls a paralegal, hey, listen, man, I've got something that's going to change your career. I want to have a conversation with you. Meet me at the Marriott. Okay. I just feel like the woman thinks, okay, bro, I'm not a moron. I'm not an idiot. I'm meeting him at the Marriott. This could mean this, but if it doesn't, and really wishing and hoping that it doesn't, this could change my career. Is that plausible to you, Ben?
No.
Wow. Okay.
These women know, like Harvey Weinstein. I'm such a great actress that Harvey Weinstein wants to meet with me to hear my opinions on a role, and I'm the new hot fresh flavor in town. Even though I've been in this business, they play that's the card that women get to play, the babe in the woods victim, while they know they're walking right into the bear den to get eaten, bro. It's the after part. These women aren't stupid. They know they get to play that card of, oh, it just happened. You don't shit where you eat. You don't go up there. Harvey Weinstein, this man doesn't want to meet you at 2 a.m. to hear your ideas. That's their fame addiction getting in the way of real judgment. And then once it happens, they get to play the victim afterwards. So I don't put that over, bro. Like they might have presented it the right way in the documentary to make it look that way, but that's not how.
I'm going to throw something else out there. Because again, you got to look at all possibilities now. Stevie, let me ask you a question. From a talent point of view, Ben, from a talent point of view, prior to this going down, do you think there was a window where the talent or a talent or some talent were somehow, some way smartened up to this and knew this was coming down the pike? Because I got to tell you, bro, when you look at timing now, do you know what happened right before the first allegation came down?
The two girls left.
The two girls left, bro. The two now here's something that's very interesting. The two girls left, bro. That was weeks ago. If it was creative and they're no longer with the company, then why wouldn't they make a statement and say that? These girls have said nothing. So now I've got to ask myself the question, if this was a creative issue and you didn't like what they have for you and you wound up walking, bro, a month after the fact, you're going to talk about it. You're going to say, yeah, this is what happened. Neither one of these girls have said anything. One of the women is married to one of the wrestlers, so you think she would have been called back or invited back because she's married to one of the prominent stars in the company. My question is, could some of the talent, female talent, have been smartened up to this and said, nah, bro, we don't think we want to be a part of this anymore?
It's plausible. I see the silent heat working with the Naomi Uso factor more than them walking out because of that kind of stuff. Because why isn't she speaking out? Because if she did, then they'll put the hammer down on the Usos. Oh, you guys are giving up the tag titles tonight. Well, why? Uso, I thought we were going all the way to Royal Rumble with them. And oh, we decided to go another way. And they'll never say that's because she spoke out. And everybody has that silent heat agreement. And if they'll put it, if anybody's going to do it, it'll be on Roman to regulate his own. They would never go at him and say it straight out. So this is the level of the gameplay they have where you don't have to say nothing. And everybody knows the first 5 chess moves to get to checkmate in order to hurt everybody on that side of the clan. And they'll keep their mouth shut because of it.
Stevie?
It's just a tough thing. By the way, I don't care if you're a billionaire, you got balls to try to mess with one of the Samoans' women. That is not a smart, but that's dangerous enough to make it exciting for a guy like that. I don't put anything past these people. But what Ben just described too, just like a lot of things that are going on right now, the whole thing just needs to crumble and be rebuilt. It needs, like wrestling, WWE needs a great reset, because then when they say we're taking the titles off you, the Usos need to go, yeah, this guy, because he's doing A, B, and C and trying to do this with the girls, now we're getting punished for it. Like, everything needs to be exposed. I mean, they give away their business anyway. They exposed it. So expose everything now, the good, the bad, and the very ugly, because this whole thing, Ben and Vince, with, okay, we're going to keep the fake belts and the money. Just the fact that they're trying to do that is like, fuck you. Like you said, Vince, like, fuck you. Like, I'm a man and I have a wife and I have children. I have this, and I need to be looked at and presented a certain way as an example. You're not going to do that to me, or I'm not going to sacrifice. Let's bring up the name. I have to bring it up every show. Ashley Massaro. That could bring them down too, right there.
I got to ask you guys a question. How does this affect the talent? I mean, because guys, I got to be honest with you. If I'm still working for this guy, and I'm a happily married man, I'm a grandfather, I got children. If I'm working for this guy, I'm honest with you guys. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted, and I'm not working there anymore. I'm not working for a man like this and a company like this. God knows what they've been suppressing over the years. That is me. Stevie, do you think that, and Ben, do you think that will affect some of the talent? I mean, bro, this can't be a good look for a John Cena right now. You think a John Cena, with where his career is, a Rock, a Batista, you think those guys want to be associated with any of this? True or not?
But did Cena know about this a month ago and still came and did the 20-year thing? Instead of being like, bro, I can't associate with that, just roll the highlight package and I'll do a pre-tape. No, he's in the ring with Vince McMahon. So, and they're like, one after the other. And there's rumors of what Batista was like as one of the boys on the road doing this type of stuff, bro. But he's in Hollywood now and he's over, so we could never talk bad about any of them at all. And, you know, who knows what China would do to us all the way around. And speaking of China, Triple H's behavior, not too quality when it comes to that type of stuff. So you're just surrounded with dudes who want to have dirt on each other. And once they're all dirty, then we all got something on each other, and all bets are off on where we go. Stevie said, what if men come out? Everyone's quick to go to Pat Patterson. I got this secondhand from HMG subscribers at channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, Russo's brand. Subscribe today, channelattitude.com for great content like you're getting for free here. But on what's his name? The dude who was with Rob Conway, the Frenchy dude.
Rene Dupree.
Rene Dupree's new podcast, where people are putting over that he pulls no punches, that another top WWE guy was asked if he could watch two of the boys during this 2005, I'd say the 2010 time on the roster, shower. So this shit is going on both sides of the sexual proclivity. And that was given to me secondhand. I hadn't heard about it, but they named the name. So I guess tell him Hacker Hameen sent you to Rene Dupree's podcast and find out for yourself from that story. But this absolutely goes on in the Carney arena that we all live in.
Stevie, let me ask you, as a man with, I know you got very high morals. I know you are a happily married man. I know you are a Christian. I know all these things about you. Bro, if you're in a position that you're working for this man in this company, and now 1 turns to 4 and 4 turns to 7 and 7 turns to 10, is this just water rolling down your back, Stevie? Are you like, man, I really don't want to, true, false, or indifferent, I really don't want to be involved in this?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, like I said to Ben and you before, I just have my wife says I have a very good instinct for shitty characters, for shitty people. And I would stay away from mostly everything that I could when I was there. Not that I thought there was something like this going on, but just generally a toxic work environment. But no, I mean, I have to tell you, I was there almost 10 years, even with not knowing all the stuff that we're finding out now during this time period. There's not 1 second I ever felt like I was comfortable, I fit in, and that I didn't have the sharks surrounding me when I was around whoever was with the company. And I'm talking about talent's one thing, but I'm talking more about management. The management style of the people back then, which, by the way, every single one of them are in this circle once again. Talking about Bruce, talking about Johnny, talking about Vince. It hasn't changed, and it's just one of those things. Like, you know, people can say, because it's the easy answer to say, well, if they called you, you'd go back in 15 minutes. No, because even outside of this, you have to give up every single freedom that you have to work there. You have to give up every single creative outlet like we have right here. You have to give up all your business stuff, all your outside interests. So even without all this stuff, it's not an optimal thing for people in our, in our frame of mind, independent businessmen, truly independent businessmen that want to do, and then to have to look and say, okay, on the outward side, I see this with lots of people in Hollywood. When I did Heels, I'm looking at completely flawed people acting completely flawed publicly, and then these people treating them like they're really good people. It made my skin crawl, and it would make my skin crawl if I had to be around Vince, Bruce, Johnny, or any of these other people with the stuff that's coming out.
I got to be honest with you. As much as I am not a fan of hers, and like, listen, guys, we can say a lot of things. Man, I've got a daughter, bro, and my daughter's 25 years old, and I got to be honest with you, man. I feel for Stephanie McMahon. I mean, regardless of if I like her or don't like her, or regardless of my feelings, bro, I've got to now head a company, my father's company, with all these allegations now being thrown at my dad. And I now have to represent his company. And see, Ben, that's the human part of me.
Sure.
That's the human part that sickens me. How Vince McMahon, how bro, while you're sending pictures of your hey nanny, how is it not running through your mind, bro, if this ever got out, how would it affect my granddaughter? How would it affect my grandchildren? How will it affect the people? That's the part that sickens me, because whether you like Stephanie McMahon or not, my God, bro, you've put your daughter in such a horrible position. Why? Because you were selfish. That's what it really comes down to, bro. I am selfish. I don't care about the people around me. I don't care about the consequences involving them. I am this 20-something-year-old is hot, and I want to get a little piece of that. And whatever happens, it doesn't matter. That's nothing, Stevie, but selfishness. And that's why a lot of people, oh, he'll get off. Oh, it was consulting adults. Bro, I'm not even talking about any of that. What I'm talking about is, what kind of a freaking human being are you? Your actions at your level are going to affect so many people, bro, who depend on you and who work for you and who stand up for you and who vouch for you. It's going to ruin those people. And the fact that you're just so selfish and so powerful and so arrogant and so rich that you're going to do whatever you want to do to anybody and get away with it and not give one iota what it's going to do to the close people around you if this stuff comes out. Ben, you're not as fuzzy and warm as I am, and you're a little harder and stiffer. I understand that, and I respect that. But my God, bro, to put your daughter in this position right now, what a shitty thing to do, bro.
No, I don't ever want you to lose that empathy, no matter who it is. And to have, that level of compassion is nothing to be embarrassed or apologize about. I do want to say big shout out to Jason Sum with a 1999 super sticker. Appreciate you keeping the lights on. You get
no bread, no water, just meat.
That's what you get, pal. But yeah, dude, after they tried to run her out that she's an incompetent and whatnot, and I've always had the big crush on Steph. So the other nukes that we sit on, whether there's rings on or rings off and whatever's going on with their marriage, there's been plenty of rumors going back to when she was 15 years old with her and Savage, the sitting on the daddy's lap with the butterfly kisses. So to me, when I look at this family, I look at them like the Lannisters from Game of Thrones. They're all failed characters with strange sexual proclivities that are always trading off power to cover the other one's ass. So none of them, like I said, are in the innocence. But right now, she might be sitting with the biggest bag of manure that she's got to shovel, because the sins of the father are passed on to the son. But I don't have any sons. Shane, you're out of here. Steph, you're in. You're my new son. So, like, she's the one who's got to deal with it, man. But if you're the $1 billion princess, I'm not going to cry too many tears for you.
I'm gonna ask you guys this last question as we wrap this up. But
I want to disagree with everything, with both of what you guys just said.
Okay, sweet.
You don't think Stephanie has an ego? You don't think Stephanie has a level of arrogance? You don't think that Hunter also has an ego? You don't think that the best move would have been to put it in a non-McMahon's hand as CEO, as the head of the company? Their egos and everything got away with it. You don't.
China, bro.
You have to take the McMahon name completely out of WWE for a while this is going on. But now, and then who's going to stand up there like during a conference call with Stephanie McMahon and say, "Oh, the women's evolution, women empowerment, all this stuff. Why didn't you see it? Why did you see anything? Did you say anything?" And then when she says no, and then if there's evidence that she knew, good Lord. But they all need to go away for a while. Their egos can't help themselves.
That's a great point. All right, guys.
The Rock can come in and restaff everybody with his new 5 half brothers and sisters. That's the easiest.
Well, the three of us would work there if they called us within 5 minutes. So absolutely. I mean, Stevie would move. Stevie would leave the beach, go back to Connecticut. Absolutely. Guys, before I wrap this up, because I want to ask you one last thing. Let's remind these people, Stevie of channelattitude.com, Stevie Richards Fitness. We got a great audience in here. We do this every week. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are. I do this every week with my buddies, bro. And bro, listen, this is live. Good chance of YouTube taking down this video, bro. But you got it live. But just so you know, we do this every week, bro, and we're behind a paid wall, so we can do this every week, bro. So we can't be taken down and canceled and shadow boxed and put in a corner and check marked and all that stuff. That's why we are behind a paid wall, bro. So we all have the freedom to speak openly, which we're doing now. You can get this every week, bro. Channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, russosbrand.com, all week long, guys. These are the conversations we have. Bro, less than a gallon of gas less than a gallon of gas, you get an entire month, guys. Less than a freaking gallon of gas, and you'll get real talk, not dirt sheet BS talk. You're going to get real talk. And then we got Stevie Richards Fitness. Bro, Stevie, tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, I wanted to create something. I created Stevie Richards Fitness. Basically, when I was with WWE in the early 2000s, had a lot of injuries that I needed to fight through. And resistance bands is what really gave me the access and also the ability to still be in TV shape as I was wrestling matches and watching Marine trailers during commercials. So it was very useful. If I had the bands during the Marine commercial, I would have been pumping up in the ring with them, but they wouldn't let me bring them. So StevieRichardsFitness.com. Nobody popped for that. What the fuck? But StevieRichardsFitness.com. Check it out. Also, I have a YouTube channel where I review home and garage gym equipment. We do tours. We all do all that stuff. And I try to answer as many questions as I can to make everybody's fitness journey as easy and as accessible as possible.
And Ben, do you want to tell them about your little other side business you got growing on that's growing ridiculously, bro?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're growing all the best cannabis as everything changes at horseshoegenetics.com. Get you the best cannabis seeds, feminized, autoflower, photo periods, 25 strains available, probably 40 by the end of the month. So if you're part of the green culture, go to horseshoegenetics.com, but sign up at channelattitude.com. We have shows 7 days a week. I have the best staff in professional wrestling of producers, people doing clips, social media, along with Hameen Media Discussion Group on Facebook, where it's all watch-alongs and pick-em challenges and fun memes, none of the Mark stuff that you're going to see in other groups with just people who have no clue. You get the real talk, just like you're going to get from people inside the business. I'm still a fat bastard working the indies, but I'll slap you across your face for $5. I do as much Stevie Richards Fitness as I can. So check me out at Immortal Championship Wrestling, but right here with these two, Master Shoot Theater. You guys subscribe to Vince's Patreon. You're going to get the best in improv comedy when it comes to the pro wrestling world. And 90% of the time, it absolutely comes true, as ridiculous as it is. So whether we're breathing it into existence or kissing ass for a job, we're going to be here together at channelattitude.com. Infidels, y'all love.
Wow.
We got a conspiracy theory in the chat.
Okay, got one.
Eric Muniz. Stevie Richards says he's 50, but he is really 25. Ben?
His name is Stevie Richards.
Yeah. Ben?
And he has a conditioning and training program that's phenomenal.
Ben, do you buy into that conspiracy?
100%. I've thought about this for a long time, and it's only a matter of time when you hear the glass break. It's not Steve Austin. It's Stevie putting on those cutoff Daisy Dukes and the half shirt, and he's coming to suck your blood because he is the Blue World Vampire. That's really what's going to be.
Stevie, would you like to address the conspiracy that you're really 25, not 50?
I was going to say that would put about 20 years ago, it would be about 2002, then 3 years after that. So I'd be right in line to be an adrenochrome donor for Vince around 2005. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Good trade-off.
All right, guys, I'm going to ask you one final question.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Stevie go first. Stevie, we're talking about two things here. We're talking about two completely different things here. I want to get your end game on both things. You're talking about Vince McMahon and all of these allegations, but you are also talking about insider trading concerning the WWE. These are two completely separate issues. What do you think the end game is on both these issues, Stevie?
Well, I don't think they're separate. I think they're going to use the insider trading along with the moral aspects of the other thing to take them down from it's like a two-pronged attack. But the most of the meat is with the financials, just like Ben said famously with Al Capone, the tax evasion or whatever else. And I'm still sticking by my thing that sooner or later, the government, when they need the money, is going to look and do the independent contractor versus employee type of argument, which has kind of been that black cloud over their head since the 80s. So that trigger might be the last trigger to get pulled. Now we're talking about congressional hearings with WWE and open all the books up.
Ben, what do you think on both sides of this issue?
Get me Black Cloud. That's that's Chief Jay Strongbow's new gimmick. Yeah, dude. What do I think? Exactly what Stevie just said. When it's all about the money, when it comes down to it. And Al Capone, how many people did he murder and have killed? Didn't matter. They got him on the money, bro. And to see Kevin Dunn cash in $1 million of stock options 2 days before this came out, to see Triple H have done it multiple times, to see Vince has done it multiple times in the past, that's where they're going to get you, man. So there's 8 law firms looking into WWE right now. They already lost to some firefighters in Oklahoma. They are defeatable. And that's where they're going to catch them on the catch-22 with these payouts. When you go back and look at the money trail of the $12 million, you think he had it all planned out then? Like, oh, well, I've got to pay her off, so let's not make sure it's out of the stock. Like, you think he's
using a fancy budgeting app to try to budget the
this goddamn Motorola Razr? Well, I don't know. I can't. So these are North Carolina country hillbillies who will fuck up and have fucked up. And they probably should have protected all this information a little bit better if they would have subscribed to aura.com/Vince. None of this would have
Well, I don't know if I was going to tie them into this, Ben. I don't know if I was going to tie them into any of this, Ben. So
Aura can't help this guy. Aura can't help this guy.
Listen, bro. But listen, guys, I am going to tell you though. In a couple of minutes, I gotta retool. I got to retool, bro. I am going to come back and do the poll of the week for you guys. I'll probably do it in about 15 to 30 minutes. I'm going to come back and do the poll of the week. You guys,
Ivan Putski.
I'm going to do the poll of the week. I hope you guys join me. That's it, man. Listen, guys, we will be here when stuff like this breaks, and you ain't going to get no mamby-pamby. We ain't on anybody's payroll. We ain't looking for favor with anybody. Bro, we call it the way we see it, right? But we may be wrong. This guy may be completely innocent of everything. No insider trading, cleared of everything. We may be 1,000% wrong. We're just stating our opinions here based on the information put before us at this point. Right, Ben and Stevie? I mean, that's pretty much it, right?
It's all.
Well, here's the difference. Here's the difference between us and other people and other supposed journalists. When we're wrong, we're going to come on, we're going to say we're wrong, and we're going to bust each other's balls about being wrong, and then we just move on and we're all friends still. There's such an ego even in the journalist part of this where there's nothing wrong. I mean, you're going to be wrong, but you have to come out here and be transparent. I think that's the more appropriate word that we try to be each and every week.
Yeah. Ben?
Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
You are my tribal chief.
I still can't get over the fact now, as the money grows, bro, what are we up to now? 7 mil? What are we up to, Ben? How much?
$12 million.
12 mil.
Well, actually $15 million, because I think the 12 million was for the other ones plus the 3 for the parallel.
I still can't get over the fact, Stevie, this guy wanted me to review the show for free. For free. This guy's paying out millions of dollars for the hey nanny, and I'm gonna sit here like a schmuck and watch his show for free.
Well, secretly, I think he was trying to tell you something now. Well, you want money. Well, that's got to do the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, on that note, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll keep you posted. I will be back, guys, in about 15 to 30 minutes. We'll do the poll of the week so I can promote my sponsor. That's why I have to come back, so I can promote my sponsor.
Hey, if you want to do that, pal, you're going to have to get in here and give me a little Thunderdome. Come on, get out of here, pal.
And now let me ask Vince, since we got Vince in the room, let me ask Vince one last question. Vince, you can wrap it up by telling us this video was brought to you live from
Fuck 'em. That's where it was brought to you live from.
No. What?
Channelattitude.com.
And what else? And what else is it
on?
We'll see you next week, everybody. Stevie, time to go to the beach, bro.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, put those shorts on.